Hi, welcome to How to Draw Simple. Today we're going to learn how to draw a king. Let's start off with a big mustache with a line sweeping out to the left that turns back in and up like so. Then, mirror that on the other side to finish it off. Underneath, draw a big bushy beard with some bumps that come under and over like so. Then, above the mustache, some more bumps for the sideburns with a slight line down for the side of his face. On top, a short vertical line here to start the crown, a line across like so for the bottom, and a zigzag across the top for the points that turns down at the end like so. Next, a small backward C shape here for an ear. And finish off the head by drawing a short line down from the crown to the ear. A super short line from the ear to the mustache like so, and a short line above the ear for the back of the head. Next, draw a line on the left side coming down for his shoulder with a long fluffy cloud shape underneath it for the fur. Mirror those shapes on the right side for the other shoulder. And in the middle, two lines from the fur up under his beard to close out those shapes. From the left side, a long line that comes down like so for a cape, with another fluffy bottom like before, but smaller. Then, a long line for the fluff up here, coming all the way down to the other fluff to finish the cape on this side. Next, let's give our king a long scepter, which is kind of like a really fancy staff. Start with two long straight lines on the right side of the king, followed by a big round shape here for his hand, and a small bump right here for his thumb. Then, continue the straight lines down from under the hand, going all the way down to here. On the right side of his hand, a small bit of fluff around his cuff, with a short line going up for his arm. And from the fluff up here, a line to the right for his cape, like it's draped over his arm. And a bit more fluff on this side of the hand as well. Next, let's draw his torso, with two lines coming down on either side from under his cape, followed by a line across like so, a big round shape in the middle for the buckle, and two rectangles underneath for the belt. Underneath, draw a slightly wavy line coming down, then turns and comes across for the bottom of his shirt. Then, another line coming down from the belt on this side to close out the shape. On the right, a long line coming down for the cape, with some fluff on the bottom just like before. And for the left arm, a line coming down, a bit of fluff at the wrist, and a small bump like so for his hand. Lastly, one more bit of fluff under that for the cape behind him. Next, we can draw the legs with four lines coming down from under the shirt like so, with lines across the bottom to start the boots. Then, two lines coming down from there, a turn out and down for the foot that comes across for the bottom with a vertical line to close it out. Next, we'll finish drawing the staff since that's going to be in front of the other foot. Extend the lines down like so, adding a small horizontal oval across the bottom and a small bump for some detail. Then, mirror the shape of the other foot behind the scepter. At the top of the scepter, draw another longer, thin, oval shape across the top. And on top of that, a big round shape for the jewel on top. And a tiny crown on top of the jewel. Now we can add our final details, like a small cross shape across the jewel for a more intricate design, some lines coming out from the bottom of the shirt and belly for some ruffles, 2 curved lines across the front with a clasp that holds the cape together, some small ovals on the crown for some jewels, a line across the bottom of the shirt for some trim, and finally, a small circle in the buckle for another jewel. And now you've got a king. Make sure to let us know in the comments if you have any suggestions or requests. And check out these videos for more.